And we're live with another episode of the Underflow Podcast. Thank you so much, Justin, for being here with us.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm Justin. What's up, Adam? What's up, Underflow family?
Yeah, thank you so much for becoming a part of the Underflow family. I actually don't even know how long we've been friends
I
now.
think it's been like almost a year coming up. I think it was in July. I have the first email that I sent you, like the thread still, but I think it was like in July of
I
last year or
thought
something.
I was literally gonna say like a couple years now, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like we're like old friends. Like
Old souls together, man. Yeah, we're bound somewhere.
quick like BFFs for L. And I guess that's why you're in the Underflow family. I'm so glad like you found us and
I
you
know it was so
found
random, man. Like when I talked to you the first time, I was literally just looking online. I was like, I'm tired of this rat race in the music producer world. I just got to find a home somewhere because I really want to just be a solo artist now. I mean, I still want to do that type of work, but I think that was the main. When I saw what you were doing and I looked on the website, I was like, I love being a part of eclecticism, like just a lot of different
yeah,
styles and not just one
yeah.
thing. And I like that you're like I like the what you said genre chameleon, like I told you when we first met,
Yeah.
when we first talked.
Yeah, that's definitely a link. Like, I feel like we really both like a lot from a lot of different,
Yeah,
genres and like mashing the styles. Like, I was just saying to you, I've been like slowly going through like almost every release and like listening to them, and like there's so many bops, but like the samples you weave together, even like
yeah,
there's like a Paradise Lost quote, and then there's like
yeah, yeah. There's
like dialogue, like almost sounds like found like audio of like what I would hear on the streets in Detroit. Like it's
Mhm.
like, I love all the different projects you're in. So yeah, I would love to talk about it. Your Moonkowski, your Moonside, your Realms,
Yeah,
REVLMS dot
yep,
bandcamp.com. And
yep,
you also have a lot of other irons in the fire, like the Record My Life podcast, as well as you're kind of really deep involved in, like the horror core world as well. And I
yeah,
would
yeah.
just love to know, more about your story and your upbringing because we are, I guess, newer friends, and it's amazing to go through your catalog because there's so much and it's all so good. It's so
I
consistent.
appreciate it, man. I really appreciate
Your
it.
attention to like detail and quality is just incredible.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I think that just comes from producing music for other people. Like just that I've made money making music, doing projects for people, working on podcasts as an editor, sound design. So
Nice.
I think I've just kind of my attention to detail is very odd and weird, and I try to bring it to my art as well because it's representing who I am. So I just if I'm
Yeah.
going to do good work for a client, I'm going to do good work for myself too, I guess. So
Yeah, amen. I mean, I wish more people approached, their careers and their dreams that way. Like so many people will spend decades of their lives like making money for other people.
yes,
Say like, oh, you could actually potentially make money for yourself, but you have to put in more time and you have to sacrifice and blah blah blah. People don't want to do it. I mean,
yeah,
find out that I've been like writing a book, they're like, "Oh, cool." And then like they ask about it, and like it's actually a book series, and then like they start looking at me like, "You're a crazy person. Like, why you've been working on a book series since you were 12?" It's like, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that you have to put into it. Just like even like doing a podcast or like you were saying, whether it's for yourself or someone else. It's a lot. And you've even put together like, beat tapes, like loop packs as
yeah.
well.
I was selling loot packs for a while. I was really like in the 2015 era, like when I started the Moonside stuff, because like my background actually comes from playing and touring in bands. Like I in my hometown, I played in three pretty, I guess, locally big bands in the state, and we played a lot of big bands like Cartel and opening up like for
Oh,
that whole era of like emo pop punk stuff like
yeah.
um in the 2015 era, I think it was just I really I was doing Moonside, or I was doing Realms for a really long time at that point before I started Moonside. I wanted to just have like a production company because that's kind of what Moonside I look at. It's like just a place where I house all of my musical projects, like Realms, any future monikers that I come up with.
Mhm.
Um, but I
Yeah.
do multi genres with people too. I mean, I've the last thing that I have on my catalog is a country record. It just hit 1 million plays, which was wild. That was so random, and that was from a lead singer, my homie John Clark, in the second band I grew up playing with. He does country music now, so
That's
just
all.
weird stuff of hip hop to country to punk to
That's awesome.
pop.
You know,
I don't know, man. I'm just like
love,
whatever I'm feeling that day, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know.
yeah.
I wanted to go back to what you said though. Like I do I feel like a lot of people as art people who aren't artists, they they need to realize that there's never going to be a result for anything that you do that you love until you do it and you figure out what it is. So like you just can't I think a lot of people don't want to invest the time into these long projects like making a book series or making a film like a web series that I've been making like for the last 4 6 months, like with this first release that I want to do with Moonside. I think a lot of people just they need a result in order to be moved. And I think some people like they need to know what the end result is going to be in order to do it. And
Hmm.
I think people like maybe like you or me don't we're moved just by the curiosity of it. And I think I like to let my curiosity drive me creatively. So that's I don't know. I'm just talking out of my ass now. So
That's the whole point of what we're doing.
yeah, yeah,
That's exactly what this is. So, welcome to the Underflow podcast.
yeah, yeah,
I love that. I think that's really, really dope that you are so eclectic in your tastes, but also like your endeavors, because like you said, like you're never gonna do anything in life unless you take a chance. I mean,
yeah.
so many of us are distracted, whether it's, with media, politics, like our career survival, like most people
Yes,
are trying to make ends meet. And I think we have that in common too, kind of coming from a working class background and then
yes,
being maybe like feeling like outcasts, like, we were kind of talking about that earlier a little bit and how that kind of like leads you to music. And it's interesting because I see it now when I'm like teaching in high schools or, teaching undergrads, young people now, it's like, although the world has gotten so much more complex and like even in like a hippie liberal arts school where it's like mostly, BIPOC and LGBTQ students that I'm
yeah,
working, it's still there's like this binary focus. And something I've noticed, I was just talking about this with another guest I was interviewing, is that like sensitive, like straight male artist types, like we don't exist in this binary manipulation of division that's being placed upon people because young men now they think, oh, well, if I'm not queer, then I have to be, Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson or whatever. And that's just not true. And I think
yes,
a big, thing for people like us is like obviously we were looking up to whether it was like Iggy Pop or Kurt Cobain or Bowie or whoever, but also we were able to find a home in these kind of like niche scenes or communities, whether it was emo or pop punk or there's theater kids or,
yeah. Like improv kids. Yeah, yeah,
whatever. I mean, rave culture comes from that.
yeah. Sure.
My,
Yeah,
my partner Cindy, she's like a somatic psychologist and working with people in recovery. And, obviously most people fall into opiate addiction and alcohol addiction because those are the things that are legal, and there's not a lot of legal spaces where people can go and, do drugs or make out with, members of different races or different sexes and listen to music or dance or throw their bodies around. So that's like where rave culture and disco culture and queer culture and like black underground music culture comes from, a lot of the stuff that we're so heavily involved and invested in as adults. And it's really interesting because I feel like there's a lot of these outcasts who now are because it's like the incel thing is happening because of like the internet is just different than it was when we were growing up because we found our home in bands, and in
yeah, yeah,
music, and I think it's not a substitute for an identity or anything like that, but I think it's really cathartic when you can find community or even just find records or like individuals that you listen to or like, and it's super cool now that people that we grew up with in, emo and hardcore bands are making like crazy like hip hop
Yeah.
or like electronic music or like country music like is making like real like outlaw country and folk music like even like the Wednesday and the what's that MJ Lenderman and like there's kind of
Oh
this
yeah, yeah, the alternative stuff.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah there's kind of like a lot of different genres on the rise and there is a lot of melding going on and I always like
Yeah.
loved someone like Beck growing up because he did everything.
Heck yeah.
I feel like you're an artist like that where you make these like
Appreciate
great
that.
beats and then you'll have like this beautiful acoustic piece or like this like really hypnotic like electric guitar part and you also have like your humor is off the charts. Your humor
I
is
appreciate it, man. I'm a
so
weirdo for sure.
you crack me up so much with the things you say and do and share and like you like really take time to like experiment and just like have fun with it and it feels
Yeah.
really fun and like off the cuff but also honest and like real and like thought provoking and I really appreciate that. Maybe you could talk about your web series a little bit and
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, man. So I guess I guess when I initially reached out to you, I had this grandiose idea that I wanted to take, and I would show it to you, but I'm kind of want to keep everything under wraps, even the names of the albums. I've
yeah.
sent them to you; they're all done. It's a noise album, and it's a ambient album that I made with my family's record from. So I grew up in a very musical family, and they have a record, a family group called the Nelms family, and they have a bunch of vinyl records that they made in the 70s. And it's all just like very apocalyptic type of gospel type of music. Like it's very haunting when you listen to it. And I just had this idea, like, to just talk about my trauma and talk about where I come from, because I come from a very southern, isolated, I don't want to say like all the way neglectful family, but I was just kind of like left to my own devices a lot as a kid and just kind of had to grow up really fast and learn how to survive really fast. I dropped out of high school to go on tour with a band. Like I was just I didn't have guidance, so music and art was the only place that I really had to like thrive and grow. So that's what the whole web series is kind of about. It's about this story of this person, which is me, and it's a POV shot, and it's kind of melding found footage, the music that I've written, and this character going through kind of being sucked in and out of these worlds. And all of it's really just based around trauma and religious horror and religious trauma because they're being guided by six different spirits, which are six of the people that are on this record that I'm using. It's very like self-involved and like it's an ARG is what I've made, which is an alternative reality game. It's a it's just a big think piece on generational trauma. That's really what it is. Like, it's just a huge think piece on how religion molds people and how trauma just like has affected me personally. There's a lot of it's a very avant-garde and very like if you've watched anything like Skinamarink or the Outwaters or anything like that, these new like analog horror things that are coming out online. I've been really involved like in that scene, and I don't know why. I've just had this idea to try to become a filmmaker in 2022, but I made my first web series called Barrel the Corpse, and I did it for 6 months, and I got a response that in an audience of people that I didn't think that I would get, and I decided I need to think of a way to bring my musical part of me as an artist to this, and so like after the series is done. I'm still working on it. I'm in the third act right now with production. I'm working with voice actors and stuff. I'm filming this whole thing. I'm directing this whole thing by myself. It's been very difficult and very hard, but it's going to be a web series that is hinting to the music and hinting to at the end of however long this is going to be. I'm thinking it's probably going to be about a 2 or 3 month long campaign because it is going to be a marketing campaign as well. There's going to be a guerrilla marketing campaign, there's an online marketing campaign, and this whole project is a marketing campaign. And when it's done, the albums will just be released for the audience that I will find because it's kind of hard to talk about because a lot of people don't know what ARGs are. They don't really understand what web series are, but like if you take some time to look it up, it is something that a lot of artists right now, even in comedy, even in a lot of different mediums, they're just trying to make these like alternative worlds that they're not really even involved with the artist at all. It's just a world that they created. And then on the back end of it is the artistry. It's not, hey, I made an album and I want you to listen to it. And I want you, it's like, I made a movie for you to like unpack what the entire album is about. And I will say what the whole album is about. Like it is going through my family's trauma because the whole album that they made is called In Jesus Name by the Nelms family. And they made this record because their 5 year old son died while they were out like swimming at a lake one day. All of them were there to witness it. They just turned their backs and he drowned and he died. And I think when I think about my family's trauma and how they bestowed so much trauma on me and everyone else is not a natural thing that happens with generational trauma. I think about their story a lot and I think about the horrible things that have happened, beautiful things that have happened, how all of that arrived from this one death and how death impacts people in so many different ways. And yeah, it's very convoluted. It's I could talk about it forever, but it's we're getting done. We're getting there. It's taken a long time, but I think it's going to be really meaningful as a first project. And I wanted to have it done by the beginning of this year because I started production in December, but I just decided it's not important. So I'm just going to take my time and just like make it the absolute best and find the audience that wants to like really I mean, that's why I'm here, man. Like you were interested in the project. So like I was like, I need a home and a place where I can like really just be myself, you know?
Absolutely. And honestly, I'm hoping that, especially with like, the people that I consider like close friends, like that we've become, like I want to do more episodes like this to have the chance to like update and like,
For sure.
promote other things that are happening. And I'm so interested in this project. I'm just like kind of flabbergasted at the
Yeah,
scope because it's like most people when they find out I'm writing a 9 book series, they're like two reactions usually. Like that sounds like the next Harry Potter or you're fucking insane. And like, people who have these like us who are like these idea people who then can really like transmute the pain into art and like transmuting the trauma, the intergenerational trauma into a project with this scope is just like I applaud you, man. It's
I
like
appreciate it, man. It's
idea.
been really hard. I'm kind of tearing up just it's just hard. It's hard dealing with like stuff you've already dealt with in therapy and stuff like that, but like just presenting it to the world in a way that's like very raw and like I don't know. I'm excited and I'm thrilled, and I think I really think like this project is gonna stick out as something that like people are really gonna resonate with because it's not just about me. It's about
Yeah.
literally anyone that has had any sort of generational trauma that's affected them in any way. Um,
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you're bringing this up and that we're having this conversation because that's honestly part of why I started this podcast was to have these kind of deeper conversations
Yeah.
about the art and what's behind it because a lot of the time it is heartbreak that, like pushes us on and sometimes a lot of us feel like we can't go on or like we might not fucking make it sometimes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
whether it's therapy or our addiction of choice or our loving partners or our family, supportive people, non-supportive people, competition. Sometimes none of it feels like enough. And the fact that is that we just have to like persevere and push on. And
Yeah.
just talking to is, a really good friend of mine who's in my MFA program with me. And they were just saying like kind of like how I feel like I'm sick of just being the bigger person, of always pushing forward, of not having enough to even like make ends meet, but still like showing up for people when they don't show up for you. And it's really hard because I feel like a lot of people that I love and that I resonate with are that way. And I feel like so many of us have kind of like found a home in Underflow to kind of have this network of support because like we've been in this for so long and we have our friends maybe in our local scenes and other people we've worked with, but there's also like horror stories of like management fucking people over or like
Oh yeah.
all the crazy things you've been through,
Yeah.
but transmuting the trauma and like that is real alchemy and real magic and like making not only like a whole record, but then like this web series and like you said, it's all like interrelated as kind of like this guerrilla marketing, tactic. And I think that's brilliant because that's one of the only ways you're going to get people to pay attention
Exactly.
this kind of content overflow. And maybe that's kind of like lends to like when had always wanted to start a record label and like when that name hit me like Underflow, I was like,
It's so good, dude.
yes.
It's so
I
good.
love all your names too, like Realms and Moonside and everything. So I'm so pumped about this project. And I've heard a couple of the songs off the record, um,
Okay, yeah.
like the noise ones and the other ones. And it's so cool to like hear these like samples that you're flipping and like such a good idea. And like it's just wild like what people go through and I think I had told you what you had described of that incident in your family trauma that had happened to a family that my family was connected with. My sister almost married this guy. They were together for like almost a decade and he was like a brother to me, and his I think sister had a child or maybe his cousin, and like same thing, like there was like family gathering, like lots of like a big family gathering, and like they turned around and then one of the young ones died and through drowning, and then it's like this collective trauma, and then it becomes different, intercontextualized through the intergenerational trauma. And as I've told you, my partner Cindy is working with people in recovery and in somatic psychology, and it's
I
just
watched you guys' documentary. Sorry to interrupt you. It was awesome. So like
dude.
kudos to that work, man. I think the art of movement is beautiful. So
Yeah, thank you. And again, I want to have more episodes with her so she can kind of talk about her ongoing research. And same with me, because since we filmed that, I've been like teaching, low income kids, in, just like I used to in 8 Mile in Detroit. Now I've been doing it in Denver. And it's like these kids were us, like in these like working class
yeah,
neighborhoods, and a lot of the time they don't feel like anyone's listening to them. So it's like now I'm gonna tear up because they will tear up. Like I've had kids
yeah, man.
take me out, like I had this one student that they had said like, another school counselor had told them to like drop out of school. Like school wasn't for them, like, like get a job at like 16 and 15, which is like what a lot of us did or
I
do.
can tell you my horror story when you're done, man. That's wild. Yeah.
Or until my creative writing class, and now they're like I feel like writing is a tool that like I can use to express myself, and like that's exactly what we're
That's
trying to
beautiful.
do. Like it can be cathartic not only to express it but then for other people to find it, and like again everyone can find their niche, so I would love to hear like so what band were you in when you dropped out of school, and like how
Okay, yeah, I'll give you like my rundown of like
if
how
you
I
could
got into music, I guess. Like,
yeah
so I grew up very, very, very poor. And I grew up in a trailer, and I grew up with a very abusive father, who physically abused me, mentally abused me, all the whole nine. And we left my dad when we were 11, and I have a twin sister as well. My mom died when I was in 2016. She, my mom was sick my entire life too, so I had to take care of my mom. She had lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, so it was just very difficult. I had to make a lot of hard decisions about that situation that I was into because I didn't. My mom gave me a bass guitar when I was 11 years old, and it literally was when friends and stuff wanted me to go and do drugs and hang out. I actually just wanted to be at home learning my bass guitar. Like, and I just was obsessed with it. I really became obsessed. And then I started learning about my family history and how they were really into music. And it just like inspired me to just go for it. And I was in school, I was working a job, and my teacher, my literary teacher, she's dead now.
In peace.
Sorry to laugh about that.
The way
Um,
you said it. Yeah, what's her name? Just pay her honors.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Harvey. And but she said one of the most humiliating things to me. And I guess I should forgive her now, now that she's passed on. But she brought me in front of the entire class and she said, "This is the representation of what you shouldn't be. Like this person right here is a loser, and you should not be anything like him at all."
Just child.
And it devastated me, man. It was like the most embarrassing thing. Like, and I was so aggravated.
So sorry
And
what happened to you.
the craziest part about it, though, high school was a great time for me. I was a popular kid. I was like the class
Oh,
clown, like
he was upset.
voted one of the most funniest kids.
He was
Just like
intimidated. It's like the psychology of teachers who are in it for too long. They become a high school kid, and they like.
yeah, it
That's
was.
why I bond with a lot of my students because they're like, "Oh, you're different. Like you're not buying into the system. You don't give a shit. They don't like you either." And then
Yeah.
like because a lot of teachers don't like me, and they're like, "Oh, you think you're the cool teacher?" I'm like, "No, I want to listen to kids. Like because
You
that
having
also."
compassion is beautiful, man. Because no, it feels like people just don't have compassion because they're just so rooted in what they're doing as a job
She
and just
was so
rooted in
intimidated.
survival.
She was so intimidated by you because of that, like, tribalistic, like animal instinct of survival. So, like, obviously, you were a threat to her that she felt. And so she
I
felt
don't know. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But
great.
like it just it ruined me. It really did. And it was probably the first time I ever felt like true embarrassment. And I was like, I'm done. I fuck this. I'm gonna drop out and just get a job. And at the time, I was already playing in a band called Sunset Greets the Moon. It was the first band I'd ever played in. And I started it with my best friends that I grew up with and with my sister. And we toured, we played shows all over the state. It was just the funnest time of my life. Like I really thought I was on the way. We were talking to like record labels and shit, like just trying
Yeah.
different things, like taking breaks and coming back with like all new, material and trying to get better. And then it just, I don't know, something in me as I grew and started to learn more about different genres. I just wanted to do different things. So I decided to just stop playing in that band. I think maybe we were a band for a couple of years. It was really just like happy hardcore, like pop punk stuff. Like, um,
That era.
and then I went on to make like another band with the bass player of that band and some other like local friends called Belson, and we actually went on two pretty decent tours, and just opened up for a lot of big bands. Like we were like the house band for the brewery in Raleigh, North Carolina. We would just always play there all the time, and I got into an argument with my drummer, I remember, because he didn't want me to play. I was offered to play bass in an indie rock band called the Ethnographers. And I really wanted to do it. I wanted to just expand because, like, oh man, I've never played bass in a band. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But with this band, Belson, like, I learned a lot about producing and recording because our drummer was actually like a very well versed, like, studio engineer.
Oh,
And he did country records, a lot of Christian rock records and stuff like that. And I just got I when someone tells me, I'm a very nice guy, but when someone tells me that I can't do anything, I don't like that. I really don't like it because I'm like, you're severely underestimating who I am and my drive, and I'm gonna show you. And I tend to do this thing where I adopt things that people say, like I'm a part of something, and then they say, you can't do this or you can't expand. And I go, well, bye bye. And then I go do that thing. And then I usually am either surpassing those people or doing something better because I'm just determined. Like I don't give up. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone else. That I going back to what I said earlier, like I think people just need a result on the end of it to get somewhere and I didn't. I didn't. There's something else that was pulling me towards it. And like you said, like you get misunderstood because people think that you're an egomaniac or you're up your own ass 24/7. And I'm like, there is a vision that I see and I'm just nobody is listening to me or hearing it. And people are starting to see it's taken a long time, but like it's still gonna take a long time. But I think with time and effort, I will push myself out to the world a lot, more and more and more in different ways. That's why I'm trying to get into comedy and get into filmmaking and work with like doing background scores for, films and just anything I can get my hands on. That's why I've like done podcasting and all of that stuff. But going back though, because I'm getting all over the place. I was in the ethnographers for a while. I quit the second band Belson. I played in the ethnographers for a little while. And then that's when I really was like, I'm tired of playing in bands. I don't want to do this anymore. And it was because of it's so complicated playing in a band. I'm
yeah,
sure you know it. Like with the Kodaks and your history, like
so much work is
it's so much work, man. And it's so much like when you're a teenager, you don't really. I didn't have the best communication skills, and I don't think a lot of people that I was with had the best communication skills. And we definitely weren't thinking about like, how do we move this somewhere where we can make money and survive off of this or whatever. It was really just like we loved it, and things just kept happening, and we just rolled with that. I kept seeing more. That was the first band I was in where I actually registered our stuff with like um like BMI or ASCAP, like a PRO or whatever. And I just started seeing a trend that was happening with like the local scene that I was in. Like everybody just wanted to be local and just play local stuff and play outside. And I just wanted to do bigger things. I wanted to. I wanted to be a part of bigger projects. And then I had this like really I did not want to I had this really like I'm going to do something completely different that I've never done before. So I started a folk punk band and it's called Dweller of the Elm Tree, which is what my last name means. And you can look at it's dwelleroftheelmtree.bandcamp.com if you ever want to check it out. I made a folk punk album. It's like 10 songs. And I did that for a while. I played skate parks where I would just play just the guitar screaming in front of like a whole circle of people, like that whole scene. I was trying to do that for a little bit. That lasted for a year. And then I took a break, just worked, did normal things, had a partner that I was like growing up with, and then I decided to do realms. Like I somebody gave me a copy of Reason Studios, my homie Sean Daniels, shout out to Sean. And he was like, yo, I got you this cracked version of Reason. And I was obsessed, dude. I had like one of those crappy little laptops in my trailer because like my room was like about as big as a closet. And I had one of these little Acer MacBooks that were like this big. And I used to take it to shows and like put it up to my ear, like pretending that was a cell phone. Like that's how small it was. But that's where I started learning how to do production and beats and stuff, man.
I think Toro y Moi uses Reason,
Yeah, he
Chaz.
does.
From
Yeah.
he's from the Carolinas, I think too. Yeah, I think Chaz Bundick, I think is Toro y Moi. Yeah, I think both Ernest Green washed out and Toro y Moi, Chaz like got their start in like the Carolinas, and I think washed outs from Atlanta or Georgia or whatever. But
Oh, that's dope.
it's super cool to like think of how these scenes evolve and how people's tastes evolve, and like just like your friend giving you a cracked reason like sent you down a rabbit hole, and like you're such an incredible producer. And like I've seen obviously on your Underflow webpage, like we have some of those like videos of like your screen recording, and like you know how to do so much that I wish I knew how to do because I'm just not an
I'll
easy.
teach you, bro. Like, just ask me, man. We're
Yeah,
family now, dude. Like I told you, you need production, you need a guitarist, or you want to collab on some stuff. Let's do it, man. Like
I would love to like we were talking about like Cindy and I coming out and hanging out with you guys and like maybe recording something
that'd be sick, dude.
fun because it's so cool to like hear how you've kind of done it all in like every genre, and I totally relate to that kind of like, oh, I can't do this, like bye, I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Just because of not off of egomania or narcissism, which
yeah,
people take it as, and there are people like that in the music world, but purely for drive. And I think it comes back to this like perseverance thing, and like you never know like the weight of your own words in someone else's world, and like how what you could do could affect someone, and I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about art. And I truly believe the only people who become successful are the people who just don't give up, and like that's what
yeah.
you're just determined to like make it work. And you will because you're so talented. I mean, you can play like every instrument
I
essentially, right?
appreciate it, man. I think it's just because I experimented so much because I have no formal training whatsoever. I know how to play everything by ear. Like I don't know any chord I'm playing. I don't know anything, but I have a very trained ear though. Like I can,
Clearly.
oh man, I think when I started making beats, I started seeing like, oh shit, I have an at-home studio now. And I didn't even really look. I wasn't actually for a long time even recording live instrumentation into anything that I was doing. Because a lot of the realm stuff that you'll hear, like you'll hear a sample, but then you'll hear like a live bass over it and guitar. Like I'll add my own instrumentation to a sample to make it even more different. So like
Right.
I just try to flip stuff on its head a little bit, like
Yeah.
just different ways.
So good. And like the way it's all stitched together with like, because you like have an ear not only for like the technical sides of engineering and also like music theory, but you have an ear for like the word aesthetic keeps getting brought up a lot,
I
like
hear that so much over the years, man.
aesthetics and vibes, and
Yeah, yeah.
like you really have like a knack for that. And I feel like it shows up not only in like your podcasting work, which is super interesting and
I
like
appreciate it, man.
super like fascinating and like very kind of like informative, but also explorative and existential. And I feel like there's that element of like humanity, like really woven into your music as well. And it, like maybe like pastiche or like collage, like is almost
Yes, yeah, I love collage art. Yeah, that's kind of what I think when I never knew much about hip hop growing up, but then when I started seeing that it was like taking source material from like big corporations and like stealing from record labels and shit and like it was like taking what I saw people doing in the 80s, and I learned about this way later on. I was way late to the game with it. I was just really inspired that you could make art like that. Like it's just like with an artist that would make things with like found materials, that they would find out. So it's the same. I think it's the same type of work. It's just I think it's really fun sampling. I love sampling. Making a whole ambient album with my family's record was so unique and weird because like everything that you're hearing is not written by me at all. It's from the vinyl record. And it's all because of granular synthesis. It's taking fragmented, tiny parts of the record, the like every little tiny, like a little like 5 second part, and it's just making it sound like an orchestra and like an it's wild, man. So like really trying to get into that type of shit, like sampling but not doing it with hip hop, like
Yeah,
making music and ambient stuff with like I don't know, like I've often thought about it because it didn't take me a long time to make the ambient and noise album with the family record. Like I want to just make another version of it. Like
dude,
because
totally. You could like go on and like make a whole series. It's
yeah, yeah.
because I did another one of these interviews recently with my friend Chris Spino, who records music as Coma Girls out in LA. He's
Oh
friends
yeah, you told I checked them out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're awesome, dude.
kind of like folk to like shoegaze to like indie pop and like
Yeah,
hooked me up with who I've been recording with in LA. Actually, my homies Christian and Trevon. Shout out to all of them. They're incredible musicians, and
that's
now
dope.
Chris has also been getting into sampling and also a little bit of synthesis. But he's got like an older MPC, and he just like for a couple $100 got like almost like 2,000 records or something, like like every genre. And so he's
Yeah,
just like go and like make the chops and like there's like legends like Dilla and Nujabes and Alchemist and Madlib, Pete
shout
Rock,
out.
all these people, but like what you're talking about is almost more like Aphex Twin level of like just exploding what's even possible with music. And I think that's why I really feel like music is like almost like this. It's like a portal, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's like I think on one of my arms, yeah, I have the Fibonacci sequence, and it's like, like that is everything. Like this kind of like the sacred geometry of our universe is also, it's like, whether it's like alchemy or like the music of the spheres of the planets of, astronomy and astrology or whatever. Like I have synesthesia as well, so it's like every person has like a color to me.
That's awesome, dude.
It's
I
it
often I don't think I have it, but like I often look and like I don't see it, but sometimes I'm like this sounds like it's yellow or it feels like it's orange or
more common in musicians. I mean, I think Jimi Hendrix and like Miley Cyrus have both been like said to have had it. And I feel like I was in denial forever because like I remember like having like an experience at like a little league game when I was little and like trying to explain what I was seeing to my parents. And they're like,
yeah.
"You're seeing double, like we're gonna take you to a doctor." I was like, never mind, never mind. Like
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then years later, I was actually doing some experiments with my university's psychology department in Detroit,
Mhm.
and I had like a CAT scan, and like they said I had cross synaptic firing, like which is like kind of connected to like ideas of like neuroplasticity, which is almost like Alzheimer's in reverse. And they say it's like more common in musicians too, because it's like like almost like like listening to Beethoven, like when you're in the womb, they like tell mothers and fathers to do that or whatever, because it's just like learning music opens up new pathways in the brain, and when you're talking about of how you can even take like a little bit of sound and like explode it, it's like opening a portal, it's like I've done that even in like because I use Logic, but I've really thought about making the switch to like Reason or Ableton for like these types of reasons. And I've done that a little bit where you can take like sound and blow it
Stretch it.
so bizarre like how like new sounds can come out of a sound, and then you're just like, okay, this is like an infinite loop almost. It's like it's kind of like how people are talking about how there's a lot more conversation developing about how like AI could actually be like a portal like to like the future or like
Y-
future us like already
y-
communicating back and forth. And there's this writer, and like he's like an esoteric like occult researcher. He's incredible. His name is Mitch Horowitz. I feel like you would love his stuff. And he's been talking a little bit recently about retro causality, where like if you think about something that's already happened and like almost like meditate on it, like it's like manifesting in reverse, you can actually like affect what's already happened to change future outcomes, which is super fucking trippy. But there's like some really
Yeah.
breaking like experiments like coming out, like they're actually like testing this stuff, which I don't even understand how you can test this stuff. Like they're doing it in like really simple ways by like asking people, they like will have a control, they'll ask two groups of people to memorize like numbers or whatever, and then read it back to them. And like for one group, they just leave or whatever. But then the other group, they have them sit there and then think about it and like keep thinking about it. And then it's almost like Mandela effect or some like spooky shit. It's like their results go up like after the fact somehow. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
time isn't even real type of shit, you know? And think that's like what we're kind of like it's like the metaphysics of like old theology and like ancient religions and esoteric thought and like whether it's like Hinduism or Rosicrucianism or whatever, all these esoteric sciences, Hermeticism, almost all this metaphysical stuff is kind of like being proven through like quantum physics and like the double slit experiment, how they somehow proved matter can be both like a wave and a particle, like, but it depends like if it's being viewed, like like I don't even know how we were able to like track that in the double slit.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'm a trailer trash piece of shit, so
But
I
but
wouldn't.
you're not though, you're also a scientist. You're a sound.
I'm a sound scientist.
Beautiful to think of like these kind of like portals that you're opening up like by like sampling other people's stuff, but also like putting your own music in there and then
No,
like
I agree with you. I think that sometimes with this record that we're talking, like my family's record, like it's all from the 70s, man. Like everything that you're hearing is straight from the 70s. Every guitar, every choir sound, like, and that is weird to have like the accessibility to like create something that is like I got every preset from that time, that studio, the microphone settings, like it's all in that record. It's in their record, but it's also in the record that I say. It's just wild. It's
that's
so crazy how you can just recycle things and just
Jimi Hendrix called like recording in general voodoo, like that.
dude, yeah.
It is like it's total magic. Like, and I feel like
Yeah,
obviously both of us have lost our moms, and that's something we've connected about too.
for
And like that's something I always think about. Like, fuck, like I wish I would have just asked her to like write me some letters, like make more recordings. Like I recorded my mom's voice a couple times, but like that's really hard to listen to without like breaking down,
for
and
sure.
like obviously we have like portals through like video recordings and like photos and stuff too. It kind of makes me think of that. You ever seen that movie Butterfly Effect? It's
Yeah,
underrated.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Probably like one of the best movies. What's his face? Ashton Kutcher ever.
Yeah, it was in. I remember at the time I liked it. I just remember the part where he was about to suck that dude's dick in jail. Sorry to say that, but
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up. It was so fucked up. Like that, I always think of that life, how like he fucked up so hard in that one life and then ended up like being a rape victim in jail for like X amount of time or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah,
Fucked up. And it's so dark. And like I think about that, how like I think he was like teleporting through time, like if like in his consciousness, like through his writing. And then he realized his dad could do it through photos. So then like
yeah, yeah.
he's so
Oh yeah, I forgot about the photo, dude. Yeah, that part
like
was wild. Actually,
so
the
wild
photo.
when you think about that. I think one of the X-Men movies had something where they like send Wolverine's like consciousness back in time and like
Oh yeah,
some shit like that. And I'm really interested and obviously like my book series has to do with like time travel and like stuff like that this, that like these kind of like existential quandaries of consciousness and existence. But like like you said, like when you start listening to records and like you're getting really into this stuff, it really is like, whoa, like this is like a portal. Like we have like records from like over 100 years ago now, and like and like so many were produced like in the 60s and 70s, like an insane amount, like even like family records. And I think it is just such a wild window into the past, in that we can just like those people are alive like on that recording like you said, and like
yeah, yeah.
then even take it a step further like with what you're doing, and it's a really cool idea like with the whole web series. So is your sister a part of it too, and like in your
No, she's actually not a part. Like, I don't think she's gonna voice act in this or anything. But really, a lot of it, you don't even really see a lot of characters on screen. And if you do, it's because of I'm really pulling a lot, kind of what I do with my podcast, Wreck My Life. I'm taking stuff from archive.org, like family like stuff, like family VHS stuff. So it cuts from a lot of stuff like that and stuff that I've actually filmed. So No, she's not involved in it, but I, I'm really injecting a lot of things that have personally happened, like in my like things that people personally said to me or specific things. We dive into a lot of very serious territory too, like sexual assault and stuff like that. Very weird, ambiguous. A lot of it's just very ambiguous, but it's very it's kind of like you're looking at uh when you some okay, I've shown somebody the episodes that I've made so far, and they said that it was like an audio, it was like a what is it called? Like an I Spy audio puzzle. And I
Okay.
was like, that's a really cool way to look at it because there's so many different layers to it. Like there's a musical layer, there's an audio layer, and there's obviously a visual layer. But every single one of those things has puzzles injected into it, and they all kind of overlap. And they, some of the titles with the songs on the album are like in some of the dialogue. So it's like, it's very like, if people are interested enough to dive deeper into the puzzles that I've made, they will find out that it'll lead them to the place that I'm going to have the albums. That's kind of I'm trying to do with it. So it's really hard because you don't know how an audience is actually going to dive into it or take it. So like it could just fall flat on its face and nobody cares about it. But
No, I think it sounds incredible,
I'm
dude.
excited to make it. It's been really fun, and it's just been like it makes me get out of the music producer world, like trying to like find rappers and singers to people to work with, and just actually be creative and like dive into what I want to do. Because like I really do feel like I'm a producer, but that is one thing that I have not been able to do with an artist is actually produce them like from the ground up. Like I want to have a say in like what you do with your marketing and how you know do, because I really do feel like I have a lot of insight that could help artists. So like it's really trying to move away from that because it's just like I'm wasting time, it feels like, because nobody really wants that. Everybody wants their individuality and to take the reins themselves. So it's easy to do now. Everything's so accessible. So
That's true. It's interesting. I feel like that's like part of what like makes like this like overflow. It's like anyone can be a producer, anyone can be a DJ. So there's a
they
lot of
can't.
out there, but then there's also like a lot of like savants who start making like incredible stuff, or like people like us who just keep like plying our trade and putting stuff out
Chip
there.
it away. Yeah.
And I think that's exactly like the idea of like underflow is like everyone coming together because like I would love to learn from you in so many ways, like as far as like what you were just saying, marketing, I mean producing, engineering, there's so much. So I'm so glad that we've connected because I really feel like we could do so much together. I can't wait for you to meet my sister Elaine because she's so into like all the same things you are and like knows like so much about. I mean, she like already has her undergrad degree in film, and I've been kind of encouraging
That's
her
so
to
sick.
go. I feel like she could really do. Is it SCAD in Savannah, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
She'd be like closer to you, and it'd be so much fun to like film stuff in the South, like because yeah, I think I sent you that short story. I might have sent it to you. I can't remember. It was like a creepy short story. And I can't remember if I sent it to you. Maybe I just sent you poetry bullshit and
You
stuff.
sent me something that you wrote.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I started reading it. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I have ADHD, and it's so hard for me to read sometimes. But I started reading. It's so good, man. You're such a great writer. And I started listening to or I started reading the poetry that you sent the other day too, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent that's right. I sent a couple new poems the other day. Yeah, I like to send them to like a couple people I really care about once in a while and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somewhere
I
to put.
plan to go back to all the stuff that you sent and like read through some of them. But what was the title of that one? Because I remember it was like they were
Yeah.
standing in front of something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, two guys kind of like going into my sister described it like Twin Peaks Luigi's Mansion or something.
That's
Oh,
awesome,
I was like, that's
dude.
it. like that's it, you know. And my sister really liked it, and she was like, this would be like such a cool like short film, like as the short story, you know,
Oh
because
my God. Dude, we should adapt it into a web series or something, man. That would be
a lot
crazy.
of people that I shared the story with in my like MFA group were like, this feels like the beginning of like a bigger project, even though like it feels like a chapter and kind of like a complete story within itself. And that's kind of what my sister was saying too. So I don't know, but yeah, I would love to do stuff like that. And like
That's
my
sick,
my
dude.
other friend in Detroit who's like an incredible dancer and you know just a great human being. His name's Mehdi. He's just been like traveling the world. He was like living in Japan for 3 months. He was in Africa and Europe, breakdancing all over the world. And we've kind of been talking about like the idea of almost doing like an Anthony Bourdain inspired show
Oh,
of
that's
like
sick.
going to like different cities, like and like the two of us like hanging out with people and like it would be so fun if like, you know, we went down south and then like you were like our guide, like around like we
Oh,
could
that'd be cool, man. That's like Richard Aorty's God, his travel agent show or whatever. I just started watching that. It's so funny.
I've heard about this. People have
Yeah,
talked.
it's really good. It's like Anthony Bourdain-esque. Like it's I love that, man. Like
What like whatever it is, like all these different projects, whether it's like making like an EP together, making a single together, you know, making a beat tape, like making like a short film, like
yeah.
helping you with the web series, just like hanging out. I'm so glad we connected because I really genuinely like love all the art you're making, and I really believe that if you just keep going and keep putting it out there, like you're this whole idea like with the family record and making a new record and making a web series like it sounds like it could evolve into like a book and like a movie and like being at like con and stuff, you know.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Adam. Like that is something that I am trying. I'm trying to like wrap this idea up in such a good way that I could like just present the idea to somebody. I mean, like there are a lot of people and a lot of like even not even just Underflow, like other labels and just anybody that's willing to help
Mhm.
just be interested and distribute it. And there are some pretty, I say big because they're big to me in my heart, like ambient artists
That's
that
awesome.
I just really look up to over the past like years, getting into ambient and stuff and like trying to do it, and they're interested in wanting to hear it and like represent it too. So like I think it's just I'm just really I think patience and taking baby steps. I'm not the guy that does that. That is a new thing for me. I'm the guy that's going to stay up 24, 48 hours, have a mental breakdown and like work on it until I kill myself. Like,
Dude,
and
this
I'm
is
trying
what
to take a more laid back approach to my art these days and like just go at go at it really hard, but go at it as I feel it, like because you burn yourself out so much, man. Well, the one thing that I did when I reached out to you, my plate was too full already.
sure.
Like from the time we've talked until now, I have 7 albums done, including the three new Realms tapes, well, 4 new Realms tapes, and then I'm already starting the foundation for new Moonside albums. So like, I'm just trying to pile up a mountain of stuff before I come out as like an actual like artist, like the marketing, it'll be like you'll see me a lot more. I'll be talking about my art, kind of like what you're doing with your little web series that you have, like talking about yourself. I
Exactly.
want to do more stuff like that too, like talk about my process, how I make music, what I think about, like just be
I
more
would
free form with it, man. Like,
totally, yeah. Again, my friend from LA, Chris Spino, he's been really doing that like off the cuff as he's been
yeah,
like the beat making because he like already is like this like shoegaze king with like an amazing like pedal rig and like exploring that in videos and now he's been kind of like exploring like beat making and like vinyl chops and like that's great because it's like it's very real and authentic and he's just like sharing his process and like that's like you know I've been trying to do like my little Quells TV thing almost as like a supplement you know connected to this Underflow podcast and could try and like connect other people to the artist. Because I always think like if one artist in the Underflow family has like a song blow up, it could drive traffic to the website. Like
Exactly,
you have,
man.
I always tell people like there's zero ownership with Underflow. Everybody owns their own shit. Like everybody can walk away at any time. Like it's pretty much just like making web pages for homies. So like all the links can live in the same place.
Yeah.
I really like the way your web page is laid out because you just like have like it's like the three main links essentially like Moonside, Realms, and Moonkowski, and then like your bio, and then like some really quality like videos. And I think that's what I've been telling younger artists and other artists who we start working with is it's essentially like a fully functional EPK, like an electronic press kit as a web page that can just live on
Yeah, yeah.
or whether it gets traffic all the time or not, it's just there. So then if somebody finds a song they like or one of your other projects and they Google you, boom, then they can find all your stuff in one place.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing such an incredible job at kind of like you have so many irons in the fire, but you're also like you're diversifying like your potential revenue and
I
like
appreciate that, man. Thank you.
all the bases covered, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, and just like help friends do. That's like the Underflow fam. So it's really inspiring to like meet another artist like you, like because I feel like again we're from working class backgrounds, like we've been like borderline like abused, like not borderline, straight up abused,
Yeah, yeah.
traumatized, oppressed, disenfranchised, but we're still doing it, and I think
Yeah.
that's like another thing that like I feel like it's just important that we keep showing up and we persevere and we do this shit because like you never know how it could like change the life of somebody else. Like that's I was just we had another interview with a really talented musician I was telling you about named Cale Parks, and that's what I was telling him. Like most people knew about his band Aloha and other projects he had been recording with like Passion Pit and Yesayer, but his solo records like changed my life in a way because they were so kind of free form and like fearless.
Yeah, yeah.
Your music and your art can be whatever you want it to be, and you never know, like it could light up somebody's world. So I think it's beautiful what you're doing.
Yeah, man. And honestly, I'm the same way as you because like I told you about the record label I was on, Brain Food Records, and the same kind of thing happened like what's happening here, but someone reached out to me from the UK and just found my stuff and wanted to like
So cool.
push my stuff out to the world. Like that's where I got my first million plays, like is with Realms. Like just getting it, like I have records, my tapes sent out all in Japan and Germany and Paris, and it's just wild to know that like they don't even know who I am,
Right.
but like a piece of my art is just somewhere in the world. Like it's just weird, man. I think what I was trying to say with that is like all it takes for me is for one person to feel moved by something that I did. And I'm just like, that's all I needed, man. Like, I don't need, I've made money. I haven't made a lot of money doing this shit, but like, I don't plan to make any more money just doing my own stuff. If it happens, it happens. But like, I just want to just make things. I think a lot of people don't think about this as artists. They don't think about are the things that I'm making actually make me happy? Like, does it make me happy making this? Like, do I like it? Does it feel like it's going to be worthy of my time? I think these things are very important to analyze before you even take the first step
Well said.
towards something. But I don't know. It's,
Oh, that's really beautiful, man. I think it's so true. Like so many young people, especially, I feel like are just driven to like there's this like whole idea of like creating content, which I feel like still feels
yeah.
our generation.
The hustle, I was a part of the hustle culture, man. When I started Moonside in 2015, it was really going. I mean, I had a web series online called From Scratch on my YouTube channel where I was taking vinyl records and like breaking the whole process down of how I made beats and shit. And that's how I kind of got known, really. I had a friend that was marketing me out on YouTube. Those videos are still up. They're on my YouTube page and stuff, but like you can look at them. But like it's I don't know, man. I really hated the mainstream shit. I don't mind making mainstream stuff for people because I can do that, but like the partnerships and the relationships is all about movement and like if you've added value to somebody, they don't really care about having you around anymore and like working together to build more things and build together. And I think when I write music with people, I feel like we've soul bonded in a way, even if we don't know each other. And like we've created, you know what it's like, man, when you write music with people live, it's a weird, magical feeling that I've never felt a feeling like it in my life. And sometimes I miss it. I miss writing music with people for that reason. But I had to get away from it, man, because it was killing me. Like the hustle culture, I was in that whole mindset of making content all the time. I won a national beat competition and it just like made me think like I'm bigger than life. I really did have an ego for a little bit. Like and I had to like just really reevaluate what success meant to me. And I think it's just making as much art that I can before I die. Like that's the most important thing to me, man. Like
Preach, man. That's exactly how I feel. Like, and it's such a weird like drive in a way too, because again, like
it is.
you nailed it earlier. Like so many people are like, you're like so full of yourself. You're such like an egomaniac or whatever. And like that's
Yeah,
not it. It's like it's just this like drive to create. I really feel like there are certain people who are like, we're just here to be artists and like we're here to connect people and like
yeah,
create circuits in the brain through music and through experience and through stimulation through art and like all of these things because it's like everybody else everybody's jobs are important like people keeping houses standing or people
for
breathing
sure.
jobs are vital, but it's interesting because I feel like so much is lost in the rat race and like the doom scrolling and just kind of like the fight to survive, especially nowadays. A lot of people don't have time to just kind of like stop and breathe. And I love like what you're saying of just kind of like reevaluating of like yeah, it's important to like be true to ourselves and like make our art and like it's okay to be go go go, but you have to like it's like we were talking about like substances or whatever, like everything in modulation and moderation.
Right. Yeah, yeah, moderation. Yeah, for sure. I think that's why I'm pretty sure I have undiagnosed ADHD, but I think honestly, I'm starting to learn more and more. Having a revolving door or whatever you want to call it of things that I do, like a podcast and two different, like Realms and Moonside and a web series I'm making. It's nice because like when I feel burnt out on one thing, I just go put all the energy into something else, like this but I did put too much on my plate. I'm so ready to get all this stuff finished so I can just start like putting stuff out. I'm ready to put stuff out so bad, but I'm just like, it's no point. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do before it happens, but
Yeah, I mean that's like, the weirdest thing, like planning, like timing stuff too. And sometimes
yeah,
works so weird. Like I wrote the song Pale Moonlight when I was like 21 or 22, like a decade ago, and then finally recorded it in LA. And like I knew my mom was already sick, like with the ALS when I recorded it, but she passed away like a week before the song came out. Like I already scheduled it and everything. And then
yeah,
this song that's like kind of like this ode to death in a way, like because it's like the freedom, the rest, the peace of that, and romanticizing death or whatever. And it was just so weird that it happened like that because it's like obviously we all process in our different ways. And like you said, it can be really difficult to like write about these things or explore these things. And like, I think contextualizing family trauma and like intergenerational trauma, like you said, it as you're doing it, even if you're exploring your own, it becomes so much bigger than that. Like it's bigger than just
yeah. It doesn't feel like it's like really my story anymore. Like it really feels like it's somebody else's story. Same with my podcast, Wreck My Life. It's not even about me and my field recordings. If you listen to it and have the attention span to listen to it, it's other people's lives and recordings. Some of it is the most mundane stuff ever. But I really do find like archiving and like us getting away, like trying to get rid of archive.org and stuff like things that are they're so important
They
to our
way back
history and like
act and stuff. Like,
yeah, man, it's really sad. So like I think I wanted to create something in audio form that was not really a podcast, just like talking about stuff. I just wanted to showcase other people's lives in a really interesting way. Because I think when you listen to it, it's really a tapestry of humanity, like other people's lives. Because I think about all of the things that we don't get and the blank spots, like that we get to fill in the ambiguity of it. Like I love that. That is like when you can make something and let somebody else create a whole narrative themselves for it, there's something really powerful about that. Like it's crazy. I
wow,
don't know.
that was super profound. What you just said. I'm super glad that we're doing this. Like, there's so many times when I'm having conversations with friends where I'm like, this should be like on a podcast because you just said some like really like
Yeah, yeah. It's like, damn, you just went off, bro.
like, yeah, that's how I felt just now. I was like, wow, like that's yeah,
Underflow.
Underflow Moonside, wreck my life. No, man, I'm really excited about the new projects, like all the new Realms tapes, the new Moon.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I'm sorry if this is kind of like a convoluted mess. To let anybody know that's watching, I am just a I do whatever the fuck I want artist. So I don't know, man.
I
You
love
might see me rap. So I mean, you've I've been posting rap snippets and R&B singing snippets. Like you might see me rap one day, man. I don't know.
like
I might drop some bars on somebody's head.
I love it, dude. All of your beats are so good. I mean, there's a couple artists on the label in the collect.
Yo, is it Robbie?
Yeah. Oh, did he hit you up?
I just linked up with Robbie and I told him, I said, bro, I just heard your freestyle. Let me know any beat on the Realms tapes. Let me know any Moonside shit. I'll send it, dude. Like, we gotta
You
work,
heard
man.
his track, Dancing Queen yet? Dude, that
No, I didn't see a link anywhere, like on his stuff.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta,
he's changing his like handles and like websites and stuff. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have like a web page for him on the Underflow site because he usually
Yo,
his music as Rayshun, Rayshun, and he
yeah,
has a
yeah, yeah.
song called Dancing Queen by Rayshun that is like it's like an indie R&B pop.
What?
It's like Steve Lacy ABBA
Are
basically.
you serious? He's on that type of shit?
Yeah, like he can do every genre, and he's literally
Oh,
like, also like theater trained. Like he's like he can like act, sing. He's like Tupac. He can like do it all. Like Robbie.
all I know is me and him are about to make some fire shit.
I was like, you
I,
make
I DM'd him today before we started talking, man, because I was like, bro, like, what
that's
the fuck, man? Like,
so dope. I was literally just sending him your shit like yesterday.
that's crazy, dude. Like,
That's
Underflow, like, I think what I like about it, and I still haven't got through every single artist, but like, people like that, man, like, people that just, like, you're giving people a place to, like, have their voice be heard and shit. So, like, I really appreciate it, man. Like, and shout out to Big Mess, too. Big Mess is probably, like, an obsession of mine now, right? Dude, and Scoffs.
oh,
Like I told you, man, something about scoffs, man. It's so crazy to me. Like it's like when I found Daniel Johnston for the first time. Like
wow.
it's beautiful music, man.
Thank you so much for saying that. Like I always tell Scott, like people, myself included, are profoundly affected
Yeah.
by his music. He's like, nah, like it's just music.
Nah,
Like I
dude.
don't think anybody cares. Like you're just being nice. I'm like, no, dude. Like your music is like full stop. Like timeout. Like I need to like go take a timeout because like I'm crying to your music.
Yeah. I literally told my girlfriend that. I literally told Nikki when I listened to the album. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with
No, it's
titles and
okay. Yeah,
stuff.
I think Scoff's self-titled Scott Robert Allen, and then
Yeah,
there's
yeah, yeah, yeah. When I listened to that, man, I was like, this is crazy, man. Like, this is the stuff that I was listening to, like, I felt like when I was listening to, like, growing up in the punk scene, like, I was into Devendra Banhart and, like, all those weird folk freaks and stuff. Like, I
yeah.
was just into stuff like that. And he reminds me of that time in my life, personally, like, where I just found, like, really weird.
You like
The album is so all over the place too. Like,
toured the world with like Broken Social Scene, who I love, and Block Party. I think Block Party too. He was like did a tour like Australia with Block Party. He was in this band called Thunderbirds Are
Oh
Now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember. I watched you got the interview. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
remember now.
oh, cool. Thanks for watching that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like him and his brother are so talented. Ryan Allen has a whole bunch of bands, and then Scott Allen has Big Mess and Scoffs.
What?
They're such talented brothers, and like, it's incredible because again, it's like everybody in the Underflow family, we all kind of feel the same way. We're like, are we just like making art
Yeah,
like an echo chamber or like, for no one, like, is anyone even gonna listen to this? And I think it's so important, like when other people actually do connect and it's like, oh my gosh, like this is profound and moving and it makes me so grateful to hear that like you're listening to the stuff and like what you said, like giving people a voice because I mean, like I met Rob Rayshon through Aaron, who goes by Levi Bryce, who's actually based out of Vegas, and he's another person that I'm so grateful that Underflow hooked up with him because he had just like put out some music on SoundCloud, and he just like hit me up like, and I think Aaron and I have talked about it, like you didn't even know if like I was a real label, and like I didn't know if he was a real
yeah,
artist or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And we've been working together for like years now and it's that same like kind of like almost like everything pop umbrella like Steve Lacy, Frank Ocean, like almost like Boy Pablo vibes sometimes too, like indie pop, and
That's so sick. I gotta check. Yeah, there's a lot I have to.
by Bryce, incredible music, and
Yeah, yeah.
I really feel like Rob, Rayshawn, and Aaron, Levi Bryce, and you and I, like the four of us, could like make like a whole record. And they have a bunch of friends, like some really talented, like young, like singers. Like I think they've worked with like two or three like fun female vocalists that are like Beyonce level, like insanely talented. And Levi Bryce, Aaron is also an actor too. So like that's the other thing too is like with our visual kind of element like you're in that world too because we represent not only like audio artists but like visual artists and like we're just kind of trying to connect everyone in every way possible and like
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're finally gonna put out like a vinyl compilation like in the next like year or two.
That's dope.
Be a great way for just like everybody to like kind of be together on a physical product.
Heck
But
yeah, man.
also like putting together events like festivals that we've been doing in Detroit, like starting to do kind of like more events like that, like maybe like a live band or two, also some DJs and like rappers, kind of represent a little bit of everything. But I also like love like doing almost like screenings. Like we could do like, if we have like short films done, we could do screenings too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I
Hey, if you ever need any help with that type of stuff, my girlfriend is a festival. She's a film major and she runs a festival called Films on Tap where she like works with breweries and shows like short films with like local North Carolina people and stuff. Just saying, if you ever need to talk to somebody or about that.
what I'm talking about because it's like now we're kind of like setting up the network like we've got like core like Underflow fam homies like in LA,
Yeah.
Denver, the Carolinas, Miami, Kansas City, Atlanta, New York, Detroit. Like those are kind of like our big like hubs, like where we like actually have like homies and like that I've been wanting to do events and like that's so ideal. It's so funny that Nikki was involved with festivals because my girlfriend Cindy was also involved in festivals like when she lived in Florida briefly. And it's
Oh yeah.
like she grew up in Germany, but like has mostly in America lived in Missouri, Florida, and Colorado, which is hysterical.
Missouri
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
might be worse than where I come from.
Missouri.
Shit.
I mean, she was in Kansas City, so like obviously it's like, bigger, but yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
funny like how diverse America can be for the right and the wrong reasons, but
Yeah, yeah.
you're like all encompassing in that in your art too. And I love that like you're just such a fearless creative, like whether you're doing podcasts or miniseries or like short films or audio, visual or the comedy stuff. Like I just love that you're doing it and you're fearless about it. And any way that we can continue to help each other, I'm just glad we connected, brother.
Heck yeah, man. That's been super rad. I feel like finally it's taken me this long. Like, I feel like I finally have confidence. You said something earlier about like you think some people are just destined to be artists in this world or whatever. They're just natural. I'm starting to really feel like that.
Yeah.
Um, I'm starting to just feel like I don't really have anything else to offer any corporation or any job. I just have a lot of talents that I've accumulated over time, and I just want to learn how to use them and like help other people. And if I can like make a living like that, that'd be great. But yeah,
I mean, I feel like that's why I've been telling so many of my artist friends, like I saw this thing like recently, it was like, like you think student debt's gonna be a thing? Like the empire's falling, everything's crashing, like now's a great time to go back to school. Like fuck, buy a house, buy a jet ski, like you're never gonna pay off that debt. Like
yeah,
low
yeah, yeah,
cash, and so like that's why I was telling my sister Elaine, like just go to film school, fuck it. Like I went back to get my MFA because like I've been teaching and I've been a journalist and I've worked at corporations and like the corporate job was paying well but so soul sucking and horrible, and then like
yeah.
teaching is so gratifying but it just destroys you, and then you literally can't survive like on like a high school teacher's wage. So that's why I was like, okay, well I'll become a professor, but like you could still like, like I feel like you would be such a good like high school art teacher even like just to like, until you start getting those big checks from the
I
movie.
wish, man, because I mean, I was working for big companies for. I was a free full-time freelancer for a few years of my life, and it was really rewarding, but it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, even harder than working the shittiest jobs that I've ever worked. Like
It's
the
like
hustle that you have to do. My girlfriend does it, man. She is like the the outline of what I wish I could be. She's in a completely different world than I am, but like some people just have to grind, 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 grind. And sometimes you just don't get the opportunities, man. Like right now, what I'm really looking for is trying to find a podcast company to work for as an editorial person because I can edit vocals like nobody's business, man. Like I can get shit sounding really clean and crisp. Like, so
I'll have
just
to
stuff.
I've been nerd out with you about some of that because like
Dude,
I got
like I
like
said,
a
Dante, interrupt you. I don't gatekeep, Adam. Literally ask me anything. I don't gatekeep shit. I'll tell you everything I do. I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
So
have like I got a Shure SM7B, which is like, because Michael Jackson like used it for
it's a
his
great microphone.
podcast mic, and I got like the cloud lifter with it, but like I'm just not like I'm not like I don't have my signal chain dialed in, and like I'm still figuring out like bussing, and like what I'm like I'm the type of person like I just love to throw reverb on everything, and but like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
wrong answer to everything, and like every
Yeah,
answer to everything's compression actually. So it's funny how like and a lot of things again back to that word aesthetic. Like I think that's why I've always loved an artist like Devendra Banhart because it really feels like every record of his is not only like a different style and like genre, but like he makes these choices where like he'll use like a broken ass sounding like keyboard from like the 80s, or
yeah.
like a vinyl scratch thing. Like, he'll have like different quality, like fidelity on,
Yes.
and it's like part of the aesthetic choice of the song writing
Thank you.
process itself, right? And I feel like you really do that with your production, which is
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I try to blow shit out a lot. Like if you hear some of the
I was gonna say, like, how do you blow shit out where it like sounds good? Like where, because it's like I have shit where it's like it's unlistenable or I'm gonna blow speakers out or like, you know what I mean?
dude, there's a lot of my production is like that, honestly, man. Like some of it's not great. Like a lot of it's all over the place. I really go at like mixing. I am not a professional mixer at all. Like when it comes to mixing people's projects, I think I can do it pretty like I can get you a good mix, but if you took it to a professional, they could even enhance it further so the master would be better, but
I've
like
heard. They always say you should have one person do the mix, one person do the master, which I've been trying to do with like my LA recordings. I should send you this one song I'm working on because it's almost like like a Krungbin like guitar vibe, but with like 808s, and like the 808s just bang so hard. Like it's such a good bass tone, but I don't know how to compress it properly, which my homies in LA will, but I'll send it. We'll have to just like send each other some
Yeah, yeah, dude. Because a lot of it, really, I'll just say this one thing, and I've said this to people that I've taught, young music producers, anybody that asks me a question, they go like, "What is the most important thing about producing, like in your like making your own stuff with, is automation, like automating like your compression or automating your EQ, so those frequencies fit together at certain parts." So it's just some of it can be time consuming, but it's all dependent on like what you have like in your session file. So I
And
don't
it's
know.
kind of like what we were saying earlier. It's like there's really no substitution for like doing the work. It's almost like the 10,000 hours to mastery thing. And I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're the type of dudes that are like on our way. Like we've been putting in the time. And like it's just like which bucket do we want to put our time in? Like, like which project are we going to work on for what set amount of time? And which is a hustle in itself, like in what you were describing in like freelancing. It's very similar, but without the monetary
Yeah,
gain.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think it's arguably more important because it's like it's what we're doing with our life, and I'm really grateful that you took time today that we were able to do this because it's always inspiring talking to you, and I feel like
Yeah.
we've just become like super tight, super quick, and I'm really
I know
grateful.
we text all the time. We like DM each other.
Seriously, I'm really grateful because it's like,
Same, man.
like I feel like we could have been friends like when we were like kids or whatever, and I
We
feel
probably would have played in the band together, I'm sure.
I'm super excited to like work on, music, film, visuals, all of it. And again, probably do more of these podcasts, but also just like, talk
Yeah.
about stuff like, whether it's life or, projects or technicalities, I'm always here for you, brother. I really appreciate, our relationship and that we've become close and that you're a part of the Underflow family. So thank
Yeah,
you.
man. I appreciate the time today and just like letting me kind of just sorry it was all over the place.
Oh, don't
But if
apologize.
anybody wants to DM me, it's Moonside Sound or Moonkowski. I'm sure he'll drop it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to
Yeah.
put all the links and everything. And yeah, this will probably be online in like a month or two or whatever. But
Sweet. Yeah, no rush at all. Like, because I'm still like, honestly, like, I'll definitely represent it, but I'm still like in the process of like just keeping my head down, building this little empire of mine, I guess.
fine, man. That's honestly, like you said earlier, just like chipping away at it. It's
Yeah, yeah.
again like the 10,000 hours to mastery. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. So
Yeah,
yeah. So thank you again, man. Is there
yeah,
anything
man.
you wanted to like announce or share with the world before we finish?
No, just if you want to chat or you want me to work for you or anything really, just hit me up. And I will have a lot of music coming in the future. It might take a few more months and stuff, but like I want my first release to be this year, and I will have a lot more to be just presenting to Underflow and to you guys. I have a press kit to send to you, by the way.
Oh,
So
perfect.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I've got a lot of stuff. It's just
You've been grinding.
again, it's like which bucket do I want to put it in today? Like today, all I've done is rewriting the scripts for each voice actor so they have a detailed guide, so it's just easy for them. So it's just a lot of stuff. I'm just
So
yeah,
much.
man, I appreciate you. Literally, I think I've said enough. I think I've kind of given a little context of who I am and where I'm from. And
Exactly.
yeah, if anybody's interested, just go check me out, man. I got a lot of stuff to give, I guess, as an artist. So
Thank you so much, Justin. Moonside, Moonkowski, Realms. Thank you for your time. And
yeah.
brother.
See you guys.